Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP, but I gotta start with this. Senator Warren, Crypto Karen, can you investigate? I bet you that Coke wasn't purchased with crypto. Most corrupted administration ever. Cocaine found at the White House sparked evacuation. And I know most of you right now are thinking, that's Hunter Biden's Coke. But you know, they talk about crypto like it's the worst thing ever created. It's tied to money laundering and drug dealing. But what do you think the US dollar is tied to? I bet you every second of the day, somewhere in the world, a drug deal happens using the US dollar. And look at all the money laundering. That even happened through FTX and a lot of these politicians. Then on top of that, let's talk about them weaponizing the US dollar against countries as well. I think crypto is a much better choice than the US dollar. Ripple to sell XRP escrow to pay for lawsuit. David Schwartz, consensus 2017, 3 years before the lawsuit. Now this video has everyone talking right now. And there's so much speculation around it. People are thinking that this lawsuit was planned all the way back in 2017. But take a listen.
What was the question? Our decision to put 54 billion XRP into escrow and what was behind that and whether we would use that, for example, to fund the lawsuit. So we're primarily VC funded. That lets us use our XRP strategically. We don't so much have to use it like a bank account. We can more use it as a strategic tool. Certainly, if we were, if you could imagine, we're going to act in our own interest. If we were threatened and we had to draw on that, we certainly would to protect. That would protect, hopefully, the space as much as it would protect us. We're going to act in our own interest, but we don't have to draw off that like to pay salaries, or we can be strategic. We can use it to align incentives. Institutional buyers who may buy XRP with a lockup, they have an aligned incentive with us and other people who hold XRP because the future value of XRP is very important to them, and we're able to use it that way. It certainly is also a source of revenue. I'm not saying that's not the case, but I'm saying that that's not all of what's going on. Obviously, we think the price is going. If we succeed, we believe that's going to put upward pressure on the price, and if we fail, well, we're going to fail no matter. If we fail, we fail. It is.
So maybe they were talking about a different lawsuit against Ripple back in 2017. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the lawsuit we're in now that David was talking about. And I think when he's talking about failing there at the end, I think he's talking about what if Ripple doesn't get adoption all throughout the world. 2023 looks a lot different than it did back in 2017. But until David actually comes out, most likely he'll put a tweet together around this at some point like he always does. It's just speculation at this point. FedNow testing complete. Exciting times ahead for Ripple and XRP. Volante Technologies, a Ripple partner, successfully wraps up pilot test on the Federal Reserve's instant payment system. The future looks promising. And industry proponents argue that the FedNow will benefit XRP and Ripple indirectly as Ripple and its partners have worked on the system. Now, right away, a lot of people expect the price of XRP to explode on July 20th when FedNow goes live. But I've said that in multiple videos. I don't see any value coming from this until later. And even Crypto Eddie is now talking about this. So despite recent tweets making the rounds, the Fed will not use XRP within FedNow, its latest payment initiative system launching in mid-2023, as it has nothing to do with cross-border payments that involve two different currencies. Now that's true, and I will agree with that, because right now it's just for domestic payments, FedNow. I think later, though, FedNow will move into cross-border payments, where they will utilize XRP. Plus, you always got to remember, XRP also has on-demand liquidity. And if we face a liquidity crisis at some point, the Fed may have the option to utilize XRP for that as well. So nobody's really right yet, except for the fact that FedNow is not domestic, or it's not cross borders yet. But I do believe it's going to morph into that at some point. So the train has left the station. See the previews on your TV. I told you, We have such sights to show you. And this was all over the TV. Get on board with the FedNow service. I actually seen this somewhere at a restaurant 2 days ago. And I was surprised to see FedNow's advertisements. Then there's Ripple plus FIS and FedNow as well. The reason I wanted to show you this is because FIS is also a governing council member over at Hedera. I think later on, FIS is the entry point for HBAR as well with FedNow. I think it's a massive network that's growing and forming out. But again, because we're not quite there yet, it's hard to see exactly what kind of value this is going to bring to XRP. ACI and SWIFT. So ACI supports around 9% of global SWIFT traffic and approximately 30% in the US. ACI offers services to banks around the world wanting to connect to and leverage the SWIFT's global payment initiative. ACI also supports real-time schemes around the world, meaning that any bank can use real-time payment systems to support SWIFT FIN, GPI, DLT, example, Ripple, wire, and immediate payments. Now, this is also very interesting. So FedNow, the central bank's instant payment service, is being piloted through 2022 and will eventually enable P2P, B2B, B2C, C2B, and G2C payments. The full launch is slated for 2023. Given the size of the population and the national economy, it could easily grow to become one of the world's largest payment clearing settlement systems in the world. So that's how big FedNow is going to become. But again, right now, it's just domestic payments. 15 days, Parliament plus Ripple. Fast, faster, fastest. There is literally a digital gate that will open from domestic to cross-border. FedNow, domestic now. FedNow, cross-border later. And why do you think all these other countries are working on the same thing? They're getting all that framework put together for use for cross-border payments in the future. And you see here, happy to host an event with Ripple for colleagues from both the public and private sector on blockchain and sustainability in the EU. The EU is pushing ahead very fast, and I think we're going to see a CBDC roll out in the UK, actually, before anywhere else. Fully go live unless the Ukraine beats them to it. But you know, everybody's saying the same thing they said around ISO. That means nothing. You're not going to see value from that because of this reason or that reason. But again, like I told you early on, I show you the facts around ISO and how everything's getting built out. All that value will come later. Same thing with FedNow. No value now, all the value later. $1 billion Ripple partner to go public in the US. Will it foster ODL and XRP adoption and development? Now this is coming from Nium. Nium's decision to go public in the US carries significant implications for adoption and development of Ripple's ODL solution and its associated digital asset XRP. By becoming a publicly traded company, Nium can potentially attract more institutional investors and broaden its global reach, ultimately leading to increased usage of ODL and XRP. Now that's very big news, because that's what you want to see happening if you're an XRP investor. Asia Pacific experiencing a surge in on-demand liquidity volumes. Take a listen to this.
All right, congratulations on the in-principle approval for a major payment license from the MAS. So tell us, what does this mean for Ripple's operations in Singapore and the Asia Pacific?
It allows us to offer regulated digital payment token products and services, which will enable us to better support and scale the use of on-demand liquidity, or ODL, by our customers in Singapore and across the APAC region. And that are looking to explore blockchain and digital asset technologies for their cross-border payment and treasury use cases. With on-demand liquidity volumes surging in Asia Pacific, we know that there's great appetite from customers in the region to engage and explore with blockchain and digital assets. And this obtaining the in-principle approval of the major payment institution license to better support these progressive customers and scale our ODL services to ultimately build a more inclusive and borderless financial system.
So there you have it. Surges in on-demand liquidity in Asia Pacific. That's what you want to hear when you're an XRP investor. Deaton admires Uphold. 1 billion XRP balance sheet, says no wonder they're a big XRP fan. So attorney Johnny Deaton, managing partner of Deaton Law Firm, has reacted to New York-based crypto exchange Uphold's recently published proof of reserves. Interestingly, Deaton is more focused on Uphold's balance sheet for XRP. Yesterday, Uphold's head of research, Dr. Martin Hiesbach, shared the company's POR showing that the exchange holds a whopping $1.71 billion worth of assets in reserve. Additionally, Uphold also has obligation of $1.69 billion. Interesting. XRP accounts for $1.05 billion of Uphold's total assets, with an obligation of $1.05 billion. And you know, Uphold has stuck with the XRP community all through this lawsuit. And you know, I feel that Uphold is easily going to be everybody's choice for XRP. Even if Coinbase relist XRP, people will still go to Uphold instead, because you got to stick with who stuck with you, and that's what Uphold did. XRP's path is rough and tough, not for the weak, expert notes. Not for the weak, XRP. They will put you to the test until the majority of you crumble. The key to winning is to stay persistent. Keep saving and hold on for dear life. They will continue to test you until you are unable to. Not for the weak-hearted, please. And you know, XRP, it takes a lot to continue holding this cryptocurrency. Think about all that sideways movement all throughout last year. Most people probably sold at a loss and never looked back. But if you're still here, you are going to get to the life-changing money. That's what it comes down to. You got to hold through anything. You have to have the stomach for this. You got to listen to all the FUD from your friends, your family, your coworkers, and still continue buying and holding at the same time. Then you get the headline FUD on top of it. Then you get the FUD from the Bitcoin maxis, and you continue holding. You have to really believe in this cryptocurrency. That's why I've been holding it for over 5 years now, because I still believe in this crypto. I believe it's the greatest cryptocurrency ever created for cross-border payments, hands down. And also, we are at a very different time now. 2023 looks a lot different than it did when I bought my XRP. But that's why I also show you real world happenings, like things that happen all throughout the world, and how it ties in directly with your XRP. Because they're colliding. The real world and the crypto world are colliding like never before. But with that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. Stay patient. Stay positive. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.